What's going on YouTube, Astria TV, Truth Exposed. Today we're going to be talking about the hip-hop gatekeeper, Lil Boosie, and the Mo3 sacrifice. Let's get into it. Lil Boosie started out as a rapper in the late 90s. He ended up signing to Pimp C's record label, which is very strange that what ended up happening to Pimp C. But anyways, Lil Boosie is signed to 4 different record labels: Empire, Trill Entertainment, Atlantic Records, and Warner Records. So that's 4 different record labels that own percentages of Lil Boosie and his work. They also own a percentage of the rappers that Lil Boosie signs. Some of these record labels may solely be for distribution, but that's still a lot of hands in the cookie jar. So when Boosie realized that from music he wasn't going to be making much because he was getting robbed by the record labels, eventually he figured out how they were robbing him, and he found the opportunity to become a gatekeeper, which is just a former rapper who now does what the record labels did to him, and he robs other people. So this is why he became a gatekeeper. It's easier to make money off the back of someone else's work as compared to going and making songs and getting robbed by the record labels. So instead he started doing the robbing himself. These rappers, they get finessed, like I said, by the record label. They learn how to do it, and then they themselves do a partnership with the record labels to, in turn, rob upcoming rappers and split in that money with the record label. Basically put, they are pimping the artists out. Everyone thinks that the gatekeepers are amazing people who are helping their communities and their people by putting these rappers on. But in reality, it's all for selfish reasons. They're not going to put someone on unless they're making a percentage off of it. Boosie is notorious for trying to sign these upcoming rappers. First, we're going to take a little look at the Kodak Black situation. Kodak Black said that Boosie tried to sign him for like $10,000. Basically, tried to rob the man.
This little Boosie, I used to look up to him. So he said, "What part of Florida you in?" I tell him I'm in Broward. He was like, he wanna come sit down with me, and like give me like 10 bands or something. But I already had that money off street money. Listen, I already had that money off street money like before. So when he said like he wanna come give me 10, like I guess, but you never know a duck till you try 'em and stuff like that. I was like, I was scared off.
You think it was like a respect factor that he just wanted to just hit, hook you up, or I mean?
Nah, he wanted to sign me for like $10,000.
Oh hell no!
The next situation is the NBA YoungBoy situation. A lot of people don't know that Lil Boosie has his hand in these artists' contracts. He'll go and get people like NBA YoungBoy and broker a deal with Atlantic Records for him. And in that contract, Boosie will be getting a percentage of everything YoungBoy does. The record label gets a percentage of everything YoungBoy does. And that's why NBA YoungBoy does not want to sign this new contract with Atlantic. Then we have the video of Boosie getting mad that NBA YoungBoy basically figured out he was getting finessed, and then he wouldn't clear a song for him. So Lil Boosie was still trying to profit off of this man's success with a song and got mad that he wouldn't clear it. And this is what Lil Boosie had to say on a Vlad interview. And pay attention to his facial expression, how angry he looks, his heavy breathing, and what he says.
How'd you feel in this case you had to respond?
Because I don't want to kill him.
Did you see how mad this man looked? You're not going to get that angry over someone not clearing a song. There's a deeper thing going on here, and that deeper situation is that he couldn't finesse YoungBoy, just like he couldn't finesse Kodak. So then there was this hostility of, they made him look stupid. They took away his opportunity to middleman them, which is what he does repeatedly over and over to these upcoming artists. Just like that clip of Lil Uzi saying that Famous Dex tried to sign him for $20,000 or $10,000. They give him that advance, and then they rob him on percentages. You think they're trying to give him that small advance so that, they don't have to recoup as much, but that's not really the situation. See, Boosie knows how the game works. He knows that these rappers, when they start getting to a point where they're going to switch up and leave the contract. If they're already signed, they're worth more dead than alive. Like I said, especially if they're, starting to outshine you. And this leads us into the Mo3 situation. The 48 Laws of Power talks about not outshining your master. That's one of the laws. And Mo3 started to become bigger than Boosie, was making more money, was making better music, was getting more influence in the music industry, which could have led to a situation where Mo3 was bigger than Boosie and therefore had more power in the record labels. So he outshined the master. And then you could see some of this hostility starting to grow in this video where Boosie does the lie detector with Mo3. He sets this whole thing up for the record label for Mo3. He goes and does the lie detector, but only Mo3 does the lie detector. Boosie refuses to get on it. That's because he was scared to answer any questions about contracts or anything like that. Now, these questions that he asks are obviously weird, strange, jealousy-filled questions like, do you think you make more money than me? Do you make better music than me? Are you mad that I smoke in the studio? Like, he just asks, like, hateful things, like you can tell there's some type of hostility he has built up. Let's watch it real quick.
Who make the better hood anthems, me or you?
Shit, you used to.
Am I difficult to work with? Will you ever collaborate with me again? Would you get a tattoo of my face on your body? Do you have more money than me?
You can just see the jealousy, the hatred, and the envy he had asking questions that he was asking. You can just see it. And then him refusing to take that lie detector test that he just made his artist do is very strange to me. Directly after Mo3's death, Boosie went onto Instagram Live. And in this live, he was counting money, smirking, smiling while singing Mo3 lyrics right after he died. The money is symbolic because that's what he was hating on Mo3 for. That's why he got Mo3 famous, was for money. All of it had to do with money and the influence, the power, the fame. Just this live, or just watching it, knowing that he had this man taken out of this world for a ritualistic purpose. See, the ritual, they have to keep participating in these sacrifices. And then when they have envy and rage and hatred built up towards someone, it's a lot easier to sacrifice them, especially since you profit even after their death. Let's watch the IG Live.
Pete, you got no car and he got racks. Yeah. Platinum plaques on the wall. Rolls Royces bitches dropping they drawers.
And lastly, that brings us to this young Blue situation, where young Blue, in the Vlad interview, he's talking about that he's not really signed to Boosie in a contract, but obviously Boosie feels a different way about this and feels he was signed for the contract. So young Blue brought him $100,000, gave him $100,000, and Boosie thought this was a gift, which I don't know who thinks $100,000 is a gift. But this was his way, young Blue's way of buying himself out of his contract and severing ties so that he went and signed another major contract. Pay attention in this interview real quick that young Blue says Boosie allowed him to sign another contract. That language tells you that he had control over it. Boosie allowed him to sign another contract because when they do that, they sell the rights to these artists because they own them. They sell the rights to their name, to the copyright, to the catalog. So Boosie still made money off of that, and then he's going to go and sue him afterwards. Let's watch these clips.
My situation is like, it's more difficult than contracts. Let me sign my other deal, you know what I'm saying? He let me go to sign my new deal.
There is absolutely zero reason why these rappers should go through another rapper to get to the record label. That's like being, this is a terrible comparison, but it's like being a drug dealer and getting your supply from the middleman instead of going directly to the plug, to the source. These rappers could go directly to the labels and get that deal, but sometimes they don't have the connections, so they go through another rapper. But if they have the talent that another rapper can see it, then the record labels, the A&Rs, they definitely will see the same thing. So they can skip this process. These rappers, they have to sign to these other rappers, get completely robbed and then work their way back up. If you go watch my video on the breakdown of the Gatekeepers, the Two Doors of Hip Hop, which I'll put in a card right now, when you watch that, inside of that video, there's an audio clip from Ice-T comparing the music industry to the pimp game. The record labels are the pimps, and the artist is the hoe, is the trick. All the money goes back to the record labels and crumbs given to the artist. These artists are financially illiterate, coming straight from being poor to being rich, so they know that they're going to blow that money. And then they teach them to buy jewelry, cars, things that depreciate in value as soon as you buy it. The goal for them is to keep you broke, keep you in debt, keep you indebted to the record labels so that you never have enough money and power to fight back or outshine the master. Thank you for watching.